Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Wow. Okay. Haven't done a review for this show in a while. Accel World. Yeah. Last week there was a whole thing with the soccer games apparently, and that's why I was not showing the episode. Okay, episode 10. This one was interesting to say the least. It was called Activation. Um, and this is probably gonna be my last video for tonight because my neck is killing me and I'm gonna be going to bed soon. Okay, pretty much what went down in this episode was what really was not much. I mean, except for towards the end. Um, beginning of the episode, we have man, Aru. He put himself in a really awkward position. Anyway, the Red King is there. You know, we call this character Nico. Um, she's got the little girl with the red hair, and she's like standing there saying goodbye. You know, all cutesy and stuff. And then you have Kuroyuki Hime next to him, and he's like, it's like having two lovely sisters. And what Neko, she's like a fucking. She's got red hair, so she's a fiery girl, and then she's like, "Oh, you trying to make fantasies, you red tie, you pervert?" And he says, "No." And then, and then they're discussing about later on. They're gonna obviously, go into the world, go into using burst linker world to confront what was discussed in the last episode, which happened so long ago, I forgot what it was. Chrome, the Chrome guy, the armor of catastrophe. They have to stop it, and that's the whole bit that they're planning of. So basically, Kuroyuki Hime and Haru, they're getting ready to go to school. They get on the elevator. They go down the elevator. Door opens, and she's fixing his tie. Oh, that's what she's doing. She's just fixing his tie. And guess who fucking shows up in the elevator? Chiyuri, the girl who is Haru's friend and Taku's girlfriend, supposedly. And I'm like, to this point in the show, episode 10, I still ask this question. What is her fucking problem? Like, you're not going out with Haru. So, why would you give a shit? It's so stupid. I think she's so ridiculous, that Chiyuri. But anyway, moving right along. They get to school, and Taku is able to reason with her, saying, "Oh, it's part of that game." It was like, "Oh yeah," and she's like, "Oh, maybe I should do it too." She's just trying to bust Haru's balls. That's the whole point of Chiyuri. That's her name, right? Let me make sure that's real. Her name, Chiyuri, yeah. And she's just busting his balls, like every chance she gets, busting his balls about Kuroyuki Hime. And that's what pretty much, not really nothing going on with the school. And basically what happens is she tells Haru, not really a lot happened in this episode. It was really like, she tells Haru to go ahead and go to the home while, she's going to go to Taku's place and get things ready to go to his house. So he returns home and he has a Oh wait, before that, he meets up with Kuroyuki Hime in the world, in the digital world, and there was this conversation going on in this episode about the relationship between a protege and a guardian. That was the whole thing, the whole scheming about it. And Haru wants to know who her protege, her guardian was, and she can't tell him, but say at least to say that he was somebody that was her whole world, the center of her world towards. And but she doesn't want to say who it was. And basically, a little conversation going on. And basically, the whole relationship to guardian and protege is like, it's a strong relationship, almost like a love relationship. That was the gist of what you got from it. It was a really specific kind of relationship between these two kind of people. And these two people know each other in the real world and the digital world completely. So that was the whole bit on that. Moving right along, Haru then goes home to see, go home and ready to get things ready and stuff. And he starts asking questions with Neko. And it gets really serious at one point. And she was saying something along the lines to him about there is supposedly a rumor that if any burst linker were to trying to think. Yeah, if any burst linker were to actually achieve a level 10, the game would end. And he's going on telling her, and this is part where she says, "Oh, I really admire her, Hiroyuki," and she gets embarrassed. She tries to kick him. He grabs her foot and says that that's not something I would want. Game that just ends like that. I don't want to go half-ass. I want to go full out. If it's gonna end, it should end big. And she basically gets out of that. He's on her foot, and he says, "Why are you touching my foot? You hentai!" Calling a pervert and kicks him. You know what's stupid though? Like, she abuses him, but she loves him. It's like, so ridiculous. This like love triangle you have, and basically then at that point, moving right along, Hiroyuki shows up, and so does Taku, and they're ready to go into the world, and they're trying to decide if they want to track down in the real world the guy they're after, which is Cherry Rook. He's the one that has the catastrophe armor. So they decide they're not going to do that. Instead, they're going to go in the digital world to hunt it down. And they're going to go to the true battlefield of burst linkers. So, and they basically call it unlimited burster. What that does is it sends them to a specific area in the world, Accel world, Brain Burst, where there is no limit. It's unlimited. So you could stay there for like, 5-10 years continuously playing. But and supposedly your body doesn't age, but your soul ages. And this is the place where all the high-level people go to rank up, high rank. So that was the whole bit on that. So they're basically in this building, in this new area, this new world, and they're trying to decide how they're going to get to this guy to defeat him. The guy with the catastrophe armor. And Howard's like, "Are we gonna run?" And duh, why did you think we brought you? The Red King says to him, Neko. And he's like, and then there's this argument between Neko and Kuryuki Hime. They're fighting over who gets to go where on him when he begins to fly. And I'm thinking about this show, I'm like, this guy is a short, pudgy guy. Very not attractive. He's the complete opposite of what you think. So I guess you can consider him like a cuddly little bear. But I don't know. But anyway, so they're fighting, and this is like standoff between Kuroyuki Hime and Neko of who gets to go where on his body while he's flying. and and then Taku tries to get a word in, and he's like, "Shut up! You get out of here!" They shut him off. They say, "Shut up! This doesn't concern you." And he's like, they're drawing Yuri's name and stuff. It was just so ridiculous. Anyway, they finally decide what to do. Neko's got on his one side, holding on him one side. He's holding her on one side, and he's holding Kuroyuki Hime on the other side. And Taku is holding his legs, and he's flying real slow. He's flying like dead fucking slow. And as they're moving along in the sky, they encounter ways. They find out there's another way for you to gain points in this world, in the area they're in. You could destroy these enemies, which are basically monsters. But the thing about it is these monsters are only worth like 10 points. Yeah, so it's like chump change. So they're watching it, and the only real way, and he's explaining it to him, to really gain a lot of points is to attack a burst linker, a high-leveled burst linker. So, moving right along, they're flying, and what ends up happening, somebody shoots at them with missiles and shit, and then basically Haru's got to make a crash landing, and they fall into this hole, literally this fucking hole, and all the other these burst linkers just show up out of nowhere. And who shows up? The Yellow King, known as Yellow Radio. For some reason, and the thing is that you know, I don't think it's Neko who mentions it. I think it's Kuroyuki Hime or Taku saying that guy's territory is in Akihabara, while they're in I forgot the area they were in. Fuck. He said in the episode, I forgot what it was, the name. Akibukuro. Akibukuro. That's where it was. That's where they're supposed to be at right now. And he's in where he's supposed to be, the Yellow King. His territory is Akihabara, but he's here where they are now. In Akibukuro. So that's when Neko says, "Oh, that's what your plan all along?" And he's just standing there, the Yellow King. He's like making an evil smile. And that's where it ends. Seeing as how last week there was no fucking Accel World episode, this was probably worth the wait, I would say. Some intrigue now, because we now know that, this isn't going to be easy, hunting down this guy that they have to find. And some things were realized in this episode. I thought it was very interesting going in depth in this review. The thing with Kuroyuki Hime and her conversation with Haru about who her guardian was, that there's some intrigue in there. And she said also, when she was talking to him about this, it's somebody that she wants to completely, mercilessly, just completely destroy. Completely kill him. So she's dead serious on this. She hates this guy. Whoever her guardian was, she hates him. That's one thing to consider during this that I noticed. And also, next episode's gonna be pretty crazy shit going down. They get attacked by this Yellow King guy and these other people. So, as far as I can see, this is going to get really interesting really fast. Now, it's not going to end until the final week in June. Okay, I thought I'd mention that. Final week in June, that's when it's going to end. Accel World. Looks interesting. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for this now. Thank God it's back for its long break. I really like this show. This show is another show that I was so enthralled. Ah, this and Dusk Mating got me hooked real quick. So yeah, um, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah, 4 out of 5. It was pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Some interesting things said between characters. I liked what I saw. So yeah, hopefully next week looks like they're gonna get tortured or something. I don't know. Looks interesting. Looks pretty interesting. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. This has been Bonkai 922. See you guys later.